Hey kids, you're listening to Nothing in Moderation with Travis and Mike. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on this regularly scheduled dumpster fire.
You can catch us on all the social medias under @NothingInModPod. So let's go ahead and get this hillbilly hog fight underway.
You do speak fluid dick and mouthies.
Yeah. But anyway.
All right. Well, fuck. Let's get this shit show on the road.
Woo! So, anybody who tuned in on Monday looking for the Mondays in Moderation was at least mildly disappointed, perhaps even happy to not have to hear us. We've moved back to doing just the Thursday recordings for the time being until we can get some stuff in place and structure it and get it the way we want it and be a little bit more poignant on how we're doing stuff. I think that's the right word.
Yeah, I like poignant.
I mean, I'm not sure I used it right. I'm not sure that word means what I think it means, but it sounds good.
It probably doesn't. Yeah, I mean, so it just, I think it's taking an opportunity to just take a step back and make sure that we're putting out the best product we can once a week versus, focusing on more than one project and not giving, one of them all of the attention it deserves right now. So
shit happens. I mean,
yeah,
I'd like to think, I think you and I talked about this as far as long-term goals is getting ourselves refined enough to put out a little bit more content than once a week, whether it's together or side projects or something, but all under the same moniker of the Nothing in Moderation group.
Absolutely. Yeah. Couple different shows a week,
Gosh dang, communication empire.
Yeah. Our own, and then, or the main show, the main Thursday show, and then maybe something small for Mondays again. And then, a couple side projects that are solo or with other people or, whatever.
And some of that is definitely hampered by the current social environment in the country with everything going on. I don't even want to use the big C word because I know people are tired of hearing it endlessly.
Which C word is that?
Coronavirus.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about see you next Tuesday.
No, that's a word I'm actually a fan of. That's one of the reasons I love my Australian friends so much.
Man, they say that a lot. It's like
it's a
like
common
F word for them. Yeah.
I don't even think it's as bad as the F word is over here.
Probably not.
But they're
to be
a
fair,
wild
the F word's
breed.
not really that bad.
Well, I mean, none of it offends me. I know the C word offends a certain group of people, but it doesn't. Words don't typically offend me.
Yeah, well, that's good. Because I got the best words.
The best words.
The best words. The bigliest words.
Referencing last week's episode, there's definitely an offensive word out there.
There is at least an offensive word. I know we got some more stickers out there mailed out in the wild. Waiting on some pictures of those to make their way back to us so that we can put those up on social media for everybody to check out.
Yep, Vanessa showed me that she got her stickers. They're at the house.
Sweet.
She just haven't figured out where to stick them yet.
Okay.
I think I sent you the pictures that I had gotten through socials and stuff, so we can try and share some of them.
Yep, I got those, and then like I said, I know I got one picture that I can add to that, and then waiting on a couple more from some people that we sent stickers out to.
Good deal. If anybody else, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. No, you talk.
I was going to say, if anybody else out there wants stickers, make sure you let us know. We're happy to get them out to you. The only thing we ask is if we send them to you, we'd love to see where you stick our ugly mugs.
Yeah, definitely. So just so, I know it probably goes without saying, but these are 100% free to you. So we just, like I said, all that we ask is that you definitely, send a picture to us of where you put it so that we can put that out there on social media, and tell your friends for sure. Especially when they ask, like, what the hell is that? Then you can tell them, because it doesn't say podcast anywhere on it, and nobody would know, because we're terrible at marketing, or at least I am.
It was a first try.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I told you I slapped it over the urinal in a bar that I go to, but the old lady made an explanation to me. She's like, hey, no one's going to know what the fuck that is, right? Because it just
Yeah.
says nothing in moderation.
Well, and because I suck at the Googles, if you Google nothing in moderation, we're on like the third. I think I got us up to like the third page at this point. We used to be on like the fifth before
We're
there was
number
even
3.
a mention of us. Yeah, yeah. So it would take somebody. I know that if I Google something and what I think it is isn't on the first page, I'm gonna give up anyway.
I'm going to re-Google something else.
Yeah, pretty much. I will start Googling other things. I'll do
The
my
social-
Googles.
Do your Googles. The social is at nothing in Mod Pod. That's the easiest way to find us, whether it's the gram, the tweets, or
The TikToks.
oh yeah, I forgot we have a TikTok.
God, man, TikTok is so frustrating because I get locked in and like I'll just sit there and I'll just scroll through video after video after video, but like, and I don't understand. Like I fully don't understand it. I fully admit that I don't understand most social media, but I really don't understand TikTok. Like my video has the one video that we have up there is me and my turtle, and we've got like 150 something views and one like.
Maybe nobody likes you, but nobody wants to be mean.
That's a good possibility. Although I feel like with some of the things I've seen on TikTok, people don't have a problem being mean.
Are there dislike buttons on the TikTok?
There's not a dislike button on the TikTok. You can only like or comment or keep scrolling. So
Okay. Oh, and you know what I keep forgetting every week is we have an audio only YouTube channel as well until we get video stuff set up.
we do, yeah. So this show, if you happen to jump on, if you prefer YouTube, I know some people just spend their whole day, listening to YouTube, music playlists or whatever. The audio is uploaded to YouTube every week on Thursdays. Like all the other shows, wherever you may get your podcast. So
I think
you can
Blake
definitely check it out
reminded us
there.
about
And
that, right?
he did, yeah. So the Blake uses the YouTubes for most everything.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in front of the computer and that's kind of where you're at for most of your workday, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, no, not at all. So I know at my job, one of the guy that I sit next to when I'm actually in the office, he doesn't use like Pandora or anything like that. Like he just has like a couple of YouTube playlists that he just starts and they roll through to the end of the day and play the Red Hot Chili Peppers 7 greatest hits 4 times in a row.
That's one of the wife's bands that definitely grinds a nerve, and she's like, I can't take it, just turn the radio off.
They are, I think they're the original Volbeat. Like
Okay.
I think all of their shit mostly sounds the same.
Have you always disliked them?
I don't dislike them either. That's the weird thing about that statement. Like I'm not like I don't mind the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I just I don't think that they're like this astronomically great band either.
I remember in high school Weezer was big, and I was not a Weezer fan at all.
Yeah.
And now that I'm an old man, I think Weezer is better now than it was when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
It also doesn't hurt
Sorry.
that my 70-year-old father-in-law used to walk around the house singing Weezer.
Would he just sing Buddy Holly?
No, it was. I wish
That's
I
the
could
only
remember.
song I know.
Oh no, it was one of the more obscure songs, but still popular enough that it would be on the radio, but not as big as their Buddy Holly,
Okay.
which is a fun video because it's Happy Days.
Yeah, it's a cool video. I remember that video was super popular when I was in high school too. I mean, we're the same age, so
Right.
high school would But like I remember watching that video like on MTV before school.
Nice. Back when they had music videos.
Yeah. They still do every now and then if you catch them at the right time. So,
Back when
like
you
in
could
the middle of the night.
you could catch a Beastie Boys video on there.
Yeah, the old Beastie Boys. I would watch TRL some afternoons, especially when
man.
like Eminem was the thing.
Who was the guy that used to host that?
Carson Daly. I think he may still have a nighttime show. I'm not sure. They still do TRL. I think. I know for a while they used some of the people from that Nick Cannon Wild and Out show. They used some people from that to host TRL.
Is that the rap battle show?
Yeah. So it's not the rap battle's like the last thing they do. It's but it is. I guess it is mostly hip hop based. Like all the games are in them rapping in some form or fashion. So yeah, now that I think about it,
I've never watched it. I've only ever seen the clips where they're rap battling.
Well, and that's how they end the show. But all the other games they play for the most part are based in hip hop in one form or another. So
I wonder if Kurt Loder's still on that channel.
probably not. I guess he's still with us.
I
I would have to Google that. Yeah.
They used to make jokes about him being the oldest guy on MTV.
Was he? No, what he wasn't. Who was the chubby bald headed guy that used to be on MTV?
Pitbull?
No, God damn it, he's not chubby.
Fat Joe?
Guy. MTV VJ bald guy, Matt Pinfield.
Oh.
So I remember at the end of one of the Limp Bizkit albums, he did like a skit, where he would just break a bunch of plates and shit. But you had to listen to like 20 minutes after the last song on the Limp Bizkit album to hear it.
Back in the days of hidden tracks.
Yeah. But it wasn't even really a hidden track because it wasn't another track. Like it was literally, they just left 20 minutes of silence at the end, or I think it was like 7 minutes was the actual number. But like they just left the silence on the last track. So you thought it was over. You just, you went back or did whatever. And then you waited. And then he would just talk shit and break plates and do all sorts of silly shit at the end of the album.
I think Blink-182 had a hidden track like that where it was not an additional track. And I think Green Day did on Dookie, and Offspring may have on Smash.
I think they did on Smash.
So I think it was just like a no lyrics song.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't surprise me. I don't remember what the Offspring one was though. That was actually Smash was like one of the few rock CDs I owned.
Yeah, I used to. I mean, the first place most of us got CDs is the BMG Music Club, and then we got fucked. And the Green Day Dookie, Offspring Smash, Pantera Far Beyond Driven, those white zombies.
The first CD that ever ruined my credit was Blues Traveler.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, at least they're fun.
Yeah, I like Blues Traveler.
Once Upon a Midnight Dreary. Is that how it went?
I think so, yeah. I woke with something in my head. Couldn't escape the memory of a phone call and a what she said. Like a game show contestant with a parting gift. I could not believe my eyes. I do that shit at work. When like a super popular song will come on and I'll do like a spoken word of the lyrics. And that's my favorite thing to do. That and just make up random lyrics that don't make sense.
I think it's fun to respond to people in a conversation, like a real world conversation, and just use lyrics.
Yeah.
See, because I do that with Bloodhound Gang stuff, but that's typically so uncomfortable for anybody to hear.
Yeah.
They're like, what are you talking about?
Bad Times is what you're talking about. You're talking about Bad Times.
No. That's one of my favorite bands, and I still haven't gotten to see them, and I probably never will.
Probably never will. Damn Rona.
Well, that and relevance.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm sure their relevance will come back around.
Maybe. I mean, they're a lot bigger in Europe than they are over here.
That's what she said.
So,
wait.
Well, that's about average size.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anything good this weekend?
No, nothing too good this weekend. We worked in the old Garden and did some things outside. I finished up my clothesline. Spent $50 at CVS, and just the usual weekend activities.
$50 at CVS for a case of beer and a bag of candy and a new scarf.
I wish calcium and some other vitamins and minerals and such.
Old people should just eat some gravel.
Pretty much, yeah. Basically, so I gotta eat fucking 4,000 horse pills every day to keep up with my health. So,
oh boy,
yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
You should just take them rectally.
I thought about that. I actually fall and completely. I'm glad you brought this up because I meant to add it to the list of things to talk about and I didn't. But you reminded me. I follow a guy who's like a bodybuilder, and I don't want to say who he is necessarily, but he does a weekly coffee enema.
The coffee's cooled off, right?
I believe so. I don't know. He posted a video sort of on Facebook where it was like a hose running from the counter out of the... I assume it was just like because it was in like a pitcher and it wasn't steamed up, so I assume it was cooled. But it was like a rubber hose running from the coffee to what I assume, because it cut off and you couldn't see it, but I assume it was to his anus. I don't know that he was, if he was joking or, because like he seems like the type of guy that would do some shit like that, because he believes in like grounding and blue blocking and
And
just
copper bracelets.
all that. Yeah. Well, I don't know if he does the copper bracelets thing, but like he's definitely into blocking like the blue, like I don't remember which rays they are, but like the specific sun rays that are supposed to be harmful to you. And like he's weird like that. So it would not surprise me if he was actually giving himself a coffee enema, and like I just didn't know that was a thing.
Well, was it posted on April 1st?
No, this was like, I was yesterday or the day before that I saw it.
In my head, there's this super muscly fella, and he's in the position that Steve-O was in when he was firing bottle rockets out of his ass.
Effectively, yes. That's what I pictured as well.
And there's a tube that coffee runs down, but in order for the coffee to get knocked over, it's that intricate mousetrap type of thing. Like where the cheese dangles and the mouse runs over and moves the seesaw, which hits a this and hits a that, and eventually the coffee pot tilts over while it's whistling and pours steaming hot coffee down the tube ass.
Man, that would be terrible.
Yeah, it only hurt until it stopped.
That's true. It only hurt until you passed out from shock.
But you'd be so electrified with caffeine.
Yeah, I guess. I just like it. I don't know. That's a weird thing to me. Like I don't. Also, having done an enema. Have you ever done an enema?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so it's in my experience with the enemas, because I've had to do more than one. It is very. It's very hard to control everything coming back out. Like your body, your body knows this is not okay.
I'm going to say something you normally say here, Mike.
Okay.
I'm going to have to cut all that out.
Oh, damn it. But like it is very hard to control everything coming back out. And I just couldn't imagine like, shoving large amounts of coffee in there and it being any more or less pleasant than saline. Like the whole thing is very odd to me, and I'm going to have to do some more research and see if it's actually a thing or if he was just joking.
Well, I know how panicked I was with the witch hazel thing.
Yeah.
So I could only imagine being in the butthole firework firing position and being terrified that you're going to clinch it and expel everything and it's going to come right back down on top of you.
Yep.
It's like Tub Girl.
So it's like the best and worst thing ever. Like it's because you're obviously solving an issue. If you're taking an enema, you've got a problem. So, solving that issue feels great, but it's also like a very terrible process getting there. So.
Louis once told me that someone in his family had a theory that anytime something is exiting your body, it coincides with a positive feeling. And I was like, that sounds ridiculous. And then you start thinking about it. You feel better when you pee.
Yep.
You feel better after the kid is out versus when it's trying to come out. Yeah, I think. The ladies, I would hope so. Correct me if I'm wrong. That the afterwards is better than the during. And I can tell you, most people that have ever drank to excess, when they feel like they're going to vomit versus when they do vomit and then they're done, they feel much better after vomiting. Like most people feel like they're going to force it to happen so that it's over and done with.
I at one point in my life, I would force myself to throw up for two reasons. One, so I could feel better, but two, because it would allow me to continue drinking. So, and get even more shit-faced.
See, I've never been a puker. I think maybe total 3 times from drinking related items. It's happened to me 3 times.
I haven't puked a lot.
But, and it's my least favorite thing to do. Besides on purpose.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably my least favorite thing to do. I mean, I've often posed the question to people: would you rather surprise yourself with vomiting or surprise yourself with stubbing your toe on the furniture type deal?
I'd rather vomit.
Absolutely not. I will Janikowski kick the corner of the fucking wall before I have to vomit barbecue chips up again.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this in previous episodes where I had the experience with Nashville hot chicken, and I won't eat KFC ever again because of it. So.
Yeah, that's my
so I sympathize with that. I would be mad if that happened to me with barbecue chips, because man, I love some barbecue chips.
Dude, I hate it as a whole, and it's not my thing. And you talked about it being your strategy while drinking. to unload the poison essentially so you can go back to drinking.
Yeah.
My method of attack, and you've been there for this, and most of the listeners have been there for this because they know us.
Yeah.
I just go full throttle from the get-go. By 9 o'clock, I can be out. And then by 11 o'clock, I'm back up and partying a second time. Although I don't remember any of it.
Unfortunately, from 9 to 11, people play beer pong on the hood of your car.
Or they draw on me or whatever it is because I'm fucking 30 years old getting drawn on my face with permanent marker.
Yeah. I think I was there for that one. I feel like I was there for that at least once.
I think you were the Kool-Aid man that year.
I think I was the Kool-Aid man that year. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That wasn't the bad year, I don't think.
That's the one where I slept where we were and one of our buddies tried to pee on my car and tried to pee on our other buddy, and
that's right.
It got out of hand.
Why do we have friends that like to pee on other people?
I don't know. I just
How
pee
do I
on
end
myself.
up with these people in my life? Yeah, I mean, me too. Oh.
Shoe's a good reservoir.
Yeah, shoe or I've gotten drunk enough to wet the bed in my adult life. I'm not ashamed to admit it. So.
I'm not going to say who this is, but because it wouldn't be fair without talking to them first.
Yeah.
But there used to be someone who hung out with us that every single time you knew they were going to pee, and has peed on other people on accident before, and and I always, I've been that asshole. I think we told the story where I peed on someone's living room carpet.
Yep, yeah, we told that one. I actually at one point I got shit faced several years ago when I was dating my ex. This was at least 12 years ago. This was probably even before I met you. But I remember I got shit faced and I pissed the bed and I didn't want anybody to find out, so I like snuck out to the kitchen and got a drink of water before anybody woke up, and then I proceeded to pour the water on myself and the bed, and then say, "Oh man, I spilled my drink," so that I could then walk the wet sheets out to the washer and dryer to wash them. So, and didn't have to explain why the mattress was soaking wet.
Before you did it, you went and woke up everyone up. Hey, I accidentally dumped water on me. Don't worry, I'm taking care of it though.
Pretty much, I made a big production out of it, so everybody felt like it was just an accident of me spilling water. When in actuality, as a grown adult, I pissed myself.
I mean, worse things can happen. There's someone the old lady knows that I guess had a lactose intolerance issue, and on their first date, shat the bed.
Oh God, that's terrible.
Like while spending the night with the person on the first date, and surprisingly, hey,
leave some room for the heavenly ghost.
The person was a good sport about it, and they're still together, like multiple years later. So
I don't know. I you know what? That's an awesome story to be able to tell, like to hold over their head for the rest of their life. So I might be able to stick with that. Oh,
I think the ridiculous stories that you have together are a bonding experience. I think I told you that when Ashley and I got together, because we've known each other for eternity, essentially, but we finally pulled our heads out of our asses and decided it was time to date each other. And I, at the time, was rocking a Prince Albert piercing, and she asked about me wearing it to bed, because like I'd had it for a while. I gauged it to like a 0 gauge, which is larger in diameter for people who aren't into piercings. And she had asked if, I could get a replacement barbell so that I could use it in bed. And lo and behold, the first time that I put this in and we're fooling around, and you need to ask permission before you put your thumb in someone's butt. I didn't.
What?
She did not appreciate it, and she clinched on me, and she yanked away and removed the barbell from my body forcefully. So I learned an important lesson that day, both in asking for permission and fishing. Yeah.
That's terrible.
It was. It's a funny story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we also got hooked together one time later. So.
Oh. All right. That's terrible.
You would not. I have never panicked so hard in my entire life as when your piercing hole gets hooked on somebody else, and you don't want them to panic. So you just push them downward into the bed and tell them, don't fucking move, I'll fix it.
Oh, yeah, though, that's aggressive, and I understand why.
Well,
Like,
I mean, one person's going to tear.
I hope one person that listens to this was like half listening and only heard like hold them down and tell them not to move. And they don't get any of the backstory to that.
That's rape, Drake.
I might make that the clip this week and just take it out of context.
Uh-oh.
But we talked about it being taken out of context too soon. That's a lot of editing that I'm obviously not good at.
I'm going to have to cut that out.
Yeah. No, I'm not cutting anything out. I'm just going to keep saying it and not cut it out.
Nah. We went overboard this weekend like we always tell ourselves we're not going to do.
Yeah.
So when Ashley goes, all right, I bought just enough alcohol for us to, be your normal nothing in moderation type selves on Friday and Saturday and have an easy day Sunday. So she buys a handle of tequila, a bottle of whiskey, a 24-pack of beer, and 2 bottles of champagne.
Sweet Jesus.
And we needed more champagne on Sunday because mimosas are delightful.
Well, yeah. I mean, got to have mimosas on Sunday.
Fancy at-home brunch. We broke the vegan pact and had a vegetarian weekend where we ate cheese pizza.
That's awesome. You know what? I'm going to infuriate some people, but since you're talking about pizza, we got pizza this week. Actually, after you got pizza, I was like, man, I really would like some Pizza Hut pizza. And Jen and I are both. I've been full on vegetarian for like a couple weeks now. Like I finally get rid of all the meat in the house and have just not bought anymore, so I'm not tempted. But I got cheese pizza, and I don't really eat the crust anyway. So it's, basically I'm just eating melted cheese. So I was like, oh, I'll get some veggie toppings. Well, Pizza Hut for some reason was out of mushrooms. Don't understand why. Don't know how you run out of mushrooms. Whatever. So I opted for banana peppers and pineapple, and it was delightful.
Oh, you're definitely going to upset people with your pineapple on pizza.
So. I hope so. I hope it pisses people off.
We got the ultimate cheese pizza. It's got like Asiago on the crust and stuff. Like the crust is almost as good as a stuffed crust.
Yeah, almost. Not
almost.
Quite. There's. I really haven't found a crust that's as good as a stuffed crust.
Well, I still haven't gotten the Little Caesars.
Man, listen. We had Little Caesars a couple nights before that. So we got the extra most bestest cheese. We do. We eat pizza a couple times a week. We like pizza. Ugh. So the extra most bestest cheese, they just fucking pile on the cheese on that thing.
Yeah, but the last time I went, they called us and they're like, we don't have the cheese. And we're like, what do you mean? Well, we don't have the cheese to make the stuffed crust. What? I was like, okay, fine. So then I order it and I go to the fucking hot box delivery takeaway thing, drive up there, open the box, try to get my pizza. No pizza in the right box. And I'm like, hey guys, just so you know, there's nothing in there. And they're like, did you order it? And I was like, no, I just fucking arrived here and knew which box to open in the right
punched
pin
the code in, opened the door.
Then eventually the guy figures out that my stuff's in another bin, and then he's so out of it that he can't figure to just hand it to me over the counter, and he walks all the way back down the counter to the end where the register is and tries to hand it to me over the register, and I'm just staring at it.
Jesus.
I was like, there's nothing else in your way over there.
And them sons of bitches want $15 an hour.
Oh, golly gee. We ended up, we have the cute little princess kitten, who I'm allergic to. Mm-hmm. So I was poking her this weekend, apparently, because I was drinking. She's just sitting on the couch, and I'm poking her so that I'm not getting full hand action on cat dander.
Yeah.
And she turned around, she bit me, drew some blood and everything.
Good.
The old lady told me I deserved it.
Yeah, I think you did. I think we've talked about this before, but I have a serious mistrust for cats. I don't believe that they are the cute, cuddly creatures that everybody wants you to think they are. I think they are Satan's spawn. I actually think they're how Satan made it to Earth, is in a cat's body. So I'm not a fan of cats. So
you got some interesting cat Satan theories for somebody who explained before you don't even understand religion.
Listen. I don't have to understand religion to understand Satan.
That's valid.
So,
have you seen the meme going around that says, "Don't blame me for the plagues. That's all God's work. I'm just in charge of metal music and orgies."
Yeah, I've seen that. That's funny. So yeah, no, I'm not a cat fan. I think that's pretty well known. Although they've grown on me a little bit more. I am sort of allergic to them, but only after extended periods of time of exposure to them. So,
All right, you want to play a game?
yeah, let's play a game.
Okay, so I'm going to give you some quick stats, and you try and figure out who I'm talking about, and I'm going to give you a little bit more revealing information about this person until I make it so easy that you're just dumb for not knowing.
Okay.
And then what we'll do is we'll go through some more stuff about that person once you figure out who it is, and we'll make a determination called treasure or trash. Or if you guys want it to be called trash or treasure, we can switch it around, whatever you think is more fitting.
All right, I'm with it. Let's go.
Okay, and we'll vote as to whether or not we think this person is a national treasure or a world treasure, whatever you want to call it, or just a trash. So,
right. Just a trash panda?
Just a trash panda.
All right.
Okay, so this person has been in television, movies, and done music.
Okay.
They've won 4 Grammys, and they've been nominated for 5 Golden Globes and 2 Academy Awards.
Okay.
The closest thing I could find to any kind of controversy about him is
so it's him.
Yep. Oh, fuck.
Clue number 1.
That he's on his second marriage and has kids with both wives.
That doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. I mean, just some people think.
Sorry.
There's the claim by a lot of people that he's part of the Church of Scientology, which he denies.
Tom Cruise.
Nope, he doesn't deny it.
Oh, that's right.
He has actually been quoted as saying, I just think a lot of the ideas in Scientology are brilliant and revolutionary and non-religious. So that's the closest thing I could find to a bad thing about this person. 3 kids total, 2 boys and a girl.
Okay.
He's had all 3 of his kids either in a movie or in a musical track or video with him.
Okay.
His daughter had a musical career.
Did she whip her hair back and forth?
Son of a bitch, she did.
Yes. Is it Will Smith?
It is Will Smith.
Yes.
So just some other interesting stuff about him. He was in Muhammad Ali as Muhammad Ali, or the movie's called Ali. He was in The Pursuit of Happiness as the stockbroker Chris Gardner, so those are both based on real stories. The first big movies that he was in were 6 Degrees of Separation and
With
Independence Day. What? Oops, sorry, Bad Boys, not Independence Day. He's in Independence Day the next year, which was the second highest grossing film of all time at the time. I only came up upon him because, during the quarantine, I watched I Am Legend, and then I got on a Will Smith kick, and I watched Bright, which is the Netflix movie, and then I started watching other Will Smith movies because he seems to do a good job in just about everything.
Yeah. I mean, he was great in Independence Day. He was great in all the Bad Boys. He was great in Men in Black.
Yeah.
I really liked iRobot.
Did you?
So, yeah, I absolutely. I think iRobot's a great movie. I know a
have
lot
to
of people
watch
don't like it, but I do think it's a great movie.
The ones that I found that I have watched that were in his series is After Earth, which is the one his son was in with him.
Okay. I haven't seen that.
He played Aladdin, the genie in Aladdin, as a follow-up to Robin Williams. And he was in Gemini Man, and then he did Wild Wild West. So kind of a fun fact about Wild Wild West, Will Smith was approached to be Neo in The Matrix, and he had to choose between Neo in The Matrix and Wild Wild West. He obviously did Wild Wild West, but he was approached later about it and says that he doesn't regret it for an instant because Keanu did a superior job as Neo versus what Will Smith felt he could do himself.
I think Matrix would have been a completely different movie with Will Smith as Neo.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I also giggle at the thought of a Wild Wild West with Keanu Reeves.
Whoa.
But that actually makes me laugh.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Last thing I really wrote down about him was he does a lot of philanthropy. That's what it is. Philanthropic work. He just donated to Christian ministries, Scientology organizations, mosques, temples, stuff like that. And he and his wife, Jada Pinkett, even started a private school and donates millions of dollars to it. So I think
Probably
that's a
just
pretty
tax haven.
It might be, but
I'm sure it is to some extent, but I don't think that they do it for the tax benefit.
No, he seems like a genuinely nice person. It's like when you see stories about Tom Hanks out and about. It's like Tom Hanks will sit down with a drunk person and have a picture taken, or Bill Murray will, and Will Smith is kind of in that category.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen a movie that Will Smith was in. No, I'm sure he was in some terrible movies, but all the ones I've seen with him, I enjoyed. But I haven't seen like Ali. I haven't seen the one with him and his son that you saw, the Afterworld or whatever.
After Earth.
I own it, After Earth, and I know I saw Wild Wild West, but I don't think I've seen it in its entirety, like all at once. So I don't really it doesn't stick out to me.
So Wild Wild West, do you remember what the main villain was? Like that he had a giant robotic spider?
No, see, I don't even remember that.
Okay, so the villain had like a giant robotic spider, and the guy who was involved in making that movie was going to, previous to that, be involved in making a Superman movie with Nick Cage as Superman, and Kevin Smith was involved in it, the guy who did Mallrats and Chasing Amy and Dogma and all that stuff. And Kevin Smith has talked about it in some of his interviews and stand-up, that the guy who ended up making Wild Wild West wanted the main villain in the Nick Cage starring Superman to be a giant spider.
I like it. I wish that would have happened.
There was some conflict because that's not in any of the comics or anything. So the movie ends up not getting made, and he goes on to make Wild Wild West, where there's a giant spider.
I like it. That's awesome. Look at you over here with your fucking white guy trivia about movies. I like it.
I mean, I'm going to have way more movie stuff than music stuff because you're the music
Absolutely.
guy.
Yeah. So we'll have to alternate the treasure or trash recipient of the week.
Yep. But I told you had 4 Grammys.
Yeah. No. I mean he's like I think his music career is solid. I think he's got enough hits to qualify as having, and he has hits in multiple decades too, because he Summertime was a hit in the 90s. And then he came back with Jiggy With It or whatever, in the 2000s.
Just the two of us.
And Just the Two of Us, which I actually prefer the Dr. Evil and Mini-Me version of, personally.
So his first son that he had with his first wife was in Just the Two of Us.
Oh, okay.
So that's how he got involved as well, when I had said all 3 kids had been in stuff with him. And
okay. All right. See, I didn't know he had a third child. I only knew about Willow and... what's his face?
Jaden,
yeah.
Yeah, those are the 2 that I'm most familiar with. I'm sure the youngest one's happy to stay out of the spotlight.
Probably.
Yeah. No, I would. It's funny. That's the first cover, I think, that I've ever heard you say you liked better than the original.
What? Really? You've never heard my Shinedown Simple Man is better than Skinner's?
Oh, I take that back. You did talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was going to say, because I am vocal about that. Anytime somebody talks about Simple Man, I always point out that Shinedown did a better cover than the original.
What about Hurt by Johnny Cash covering Nine Inch Nails?
No, I don't like it.
You like Nine Inch Nails better?
Yeah, I think so.
What about all the Weird Al music?
That's all good. It all makes me laugh. There's not a Weird Al song I don't like. So I enjoy them. I don't think any of them are necessarily better than the original. So I think I would have preferred Johnny Cash to do a cover of Sober by Tool versus Hurt.
I don't know that I can agree with you, only because I haven't heard Johnny Cash do it. I really like the industrial sound of Tool and A Perfect Circle and Rammstein and stuff like that.
Yeah. See, now you're getting out of my realm. I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
I'll send you some Fear Factory.
All right, yeah, that'll work.
It won't be the cover song they did of Cars.
I'll treat it like I do all of your other text messages. I will look at it, say LOL, and then go back to what else I was doing.
Never even read the headline or recognize what I'm talking about. Just LOL, nice.
I do. You're the only reason I'm able to keep up with what's going on in the world. So you're like my own personal CNN/Fox/Reuters/NPR.
Yeah.
/Reddit.
Less money.
Yeah, with way less money.
I just send you the ones I know that are going to get you worked up.
God damn it! You do. I every time I'm always like, man, these motherfuckers, man.
Yep.
Our fucking government.
It's like Idiocracy, except the president Camacho in Idiocracy listened to the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah, pretty much. That is the stark difference. So Idiocracy is a documentary, but the real life is actually a satirical look at the documentary.
Right. It's does art mimic real life or does real life mimic art?
Yeah, I don't know, but the decision is Bigly. I know that.
Bigliest huge.
Yeah. Oh shit. All right, buddy. Well, I think our new segment went well. I really liked it. I kind of feel good about it. So
that's why I was a little late to the booth.
Yeah, I'm excited to pick one this week and do some research and try to stump you.
Oh, you're gonna stump me. I'm gonna struggle unless it's like mainstream music. Or
I'll try to keep it somewhat mainstream. I'm not gonna go obscure on you. I'm not gonna pick Camp Low my first week and try to make you figure it all out.
So. I'm gonna pick Jelly Roll.
Yeah, no, that I think that's too obscure for you too, and he's sort of in the mainstream.
I only know him because of my Tech 9 Pandora channel.
Yeah. So him and Struggle Jennings.
I don't recognize that one. I know Chris Calico and Ritz.
Struggle does his. I think he's done songs with all of those guys. So
yeah, but I mean, you can pick something as mainstream as Run the Jewels, and I'm not gonna be able to figure anything out unless you say oodles of noodles.
Yeah. Well, and with Run the Jewels, I know far more about like Killer Mike than I do LP. I know a ton about Killer Mike, but I my first experiences with LP were when Run the Jewels became popular. So, and I know he's been around long before that. So,
right. Oh, to circle back because we never gave our opinions on whether Will Smith is trash or a treasure.
Yeah. I'm gonna go treasure.
I'm gonna go treasure too.
Yeah, I agree. I don't
not like the Lucky Charms kind, but
yeah, definitely not that kind,
and not like the National Treasure movie with Nick Cage, but
not that piece of hot garbage.
Hey, Disney is gonna come kick our asses over that.
I hope so.
When they
Add
open.
us, Disney, fight us. Put your little mask on. Get your little Mickey Mouse head on, and bring it to these streets. Oh boy! Yeah, that's my impersonation. Get with me, Disney. I'll voice Mickey in all your movies coming up.
You're gonna have to get the audio clip and at Disney and see if they melt down on you.
I will. Just at Disney, and all they hear is "Oh boy." Oh shit! All right, buddy, let's get the hell out of here. This has been a productive episode. I'm with it.
All right. Before we go, everyone, again, welcome back to the Thursday once a week thing.
Yep.
Stickers, if you want them, hit us up on any of the socials. It's at Nothing in Mod Pod. We have them. We send them out for free. All we ask for is your continued fandom, along with sending us a picture of wherever you decide to stick them. If you want to cover your belly button for a couple hours, that's fine. If you want to put them on a urinal wall or on a ceiling fan, that's all cool. It's your sticker. You do whatever the fuck you want with it. We just want to see what you did with it.
Absolutely. I like I said, definitely make sure you guys are liking, all of our different social media pages, sharing us with your friends, rating and reviewing us on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast. I know that pretty much everywhere you can rate and review us. So the things go a long way to helping us out to make this bigger and to be able to put more content out and to be able to grow this thing. So
yeah, tell your friends, tell your dog, tell your dog's friends, tell your friends' dogs. Mike and I had made the decision on a previous episode that if we make it to 1,000 weekly downloads for 4 weeks in a row and then a 5th week to verify it wasn't a fluke, Mike and I will get the logo tattooed on ourselves.
Yep. So we will do that. I might get it tattooed on each of my knuckles.
Nom-pod.
I like it in mod. I got it. I'm all right. I gotta talk to. Yep. I gotta talk to Babin. I'm ready for my knuckle tattoos.
One hand'll say Inmo.
Yep. Inmo Depod. Depod. It's Depod. Inmo Depod.
There you go.
All right. Shit got weird. Let's get the hell out of here.
All right,
we'll
buddy.
catch you guys next week. Bye. Stop it.
See ya.
See ya.
Hey kids, you've reached the end of the podcast. That's it. There's nothing more here. Just dead air and this closing statement. We appreciate your diligence, though. Now go back about your day and come back for the next show. Or listen again. In fact, that sounds like a better plan. Grab another show. That's what I'm doing right now. Whoever listens the most wins. You don't really win anything, really. Just the memories of better times, which is winning in my book. All right, well, this is the actual end. Hand banana.